This remarkable map of the United States, dating back to 1833, holds a unique and fascinating history. Originally found folded up in a family Bible, it's a rare and valuable piece of cartographic art. The map was part of a book designed to educate students about the geography and politics of the United States. Churchman's innovative approach included overlaying an image of an eagle over the map. The map's uniqueness is further highlighted by Churchman's artistic rendition of the eagle, with each state outlined and detailed. Even though he couldn't fit Maine into the map, he suggested that the citizens of Maine could see themselves as a liberty cap on the eagle's head. Due to its rarity, historical significance, and artistic value, this map is highly desirable among collectors. It has a retail value of approximately $25,000.
Wow. That's surprising, for sure. I had no idea, really.
This is a fantastic model car brought by our guest. It belonged to the guest's father, a cherished gift from his childhood. It's never been played with and has always been kept in the box. Crafted by the renowned German toy company Gunthermann.
Well, this car was made to commemorate the Silver Bullet Sunbeam car. They had held the world speed records.
The legacy of Gunthermann began in 1826. Renowned for exquisite craftsmanship, it stood as one of Germany's oldest and most esteemed toy manufacturers, celebrated for its superior quality toys. There aren't many of these tin plate toys still in existence. This one was made in the 1930s and would fetch at least 1,200 pounds to 1,800 pounds at auction.
Wow. Ooh, that's amazing.
Come on. That's crazy.
This painting is one of the masterpieces of the artist's career. The guest got it as a gift from her ex-husband. They didn't know its value at first, but then they learned it was a colorful picture by the famous artist Warhol. It was from a series he did featuring soup cans. They discussed how Warhol liked soup as a kid, so he painted them. Details were shared about how the picture was made and how many copies existed. Despite its age, the picture was still in good shape. The person was shocked to find out that it could be worth $50,000. They mentioned that some soup pictures were worth even more, like the one with tomato soup.
What? Come on. That's crazy. My goodness. I don't know. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Wow. Well, I won't be leaving it in a drawer now.
This guest brought to the show a Navy Colt pistol and 2 CDVs of Seth Kinman Colt, which he inherited from his father. Seth Kinman Colt was a famous chairmaker and a nationally recognized entertainer. The pistol was given as a present to him in recognition for his horn chair gift by President James Buchanan and was made of California gold, .36 caliber, model 1851, made in Hartford, Connecticut. What makes the piece spectacular is the wear and tear of the pistol and the inscription of President James and presentation date on the backstrap, which makes it look different from an ordinary well-worn gun. The 2 CDVs depict images of him sitting on a bear chair, and the second is an image of a throne chair made by Seth Kinman Colt. The appraiser values the 2 CDVs to be around $200 to $300, and the pistol is worth $50,000.
Wow. Well, I won't be leaving it in a drawer now.
The guest shares an incredible story behind these John Bullis Apache artifacts. The guest's great-great-grandfather, John Bullis, wasn't an average soldier. As a Quaker by upbringing, he fought for the Union Army, even leading a regiment of formerly enslaved men. After the war, his path led him to Arizona, where he encountered the Apache people. There, he received these fascinating artifacts, some as gifts and others likely purchased. Adorned with figures, these beautifully crafted moccasins were made for a specific Apache dance. They're scarce, offering a glimpse into Apache cultural traditions. Other items in the collection include a pouch, likely used for a peace medal, fire starters, and even a war club. Each piece whispering stories of daily life and battles fought. The collection appraised at a value of
$25,000 for what's in this case here, and on the high end, probably as much as $35,000. maybe a little more.
It's wonderful to know that.
This item has been in the Guest family for 3 generations, passed down from the wife's grandmother to her mother, and then to the wife. The plaque was designed by Heinrich Schlitt, an artist from Munich known for his special commission work for Mettlach. The item is a decorative plaque or charger made by Mettlach. It's a division of Villeroy and Boch, known for their stoneware beer steins and decorative plaques. The plaque is marked with a castle symbol and the word Mettlach, along with VB in 01, indicating it was made in 1901. The scene on the plaque is unusual and vivid, depicting a dwarf eating porridge in a forest. Collectors value these plaques for their unusual scenes. This particular plaque would retail for $3,000 to $5,000 due to its rarity and desirability.
Such an outrageous scene.
Wow.
This video, give a thumbs up. Thanks a lot. This fascinating artifact was found in the yard of the Guest. The stone carving is believed to be of Celtic origin and to have existed since around the 3rd century AD.
Similar heads are found around Hadrian's Wall.
Oh.
But the difficulty in dating this one is we haven't found it in a sort of an archaeological context. It was in your drain.
Yeah.
It is a medieval piece with a mysterious origin, and there is no written evidence indicating what it was made for.
But they're often found near water, because beneath the surface of the water were the spirit worlds, and some people think these were used to communicate with the spirits.
The appraiser values it at...
I would say that should you put this in auction, it should make at least £3,000 to £5,000.
Right.
So do you make that an old drain find?
I know. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's very nice. Is he local to Newport?
Local, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something right here at home.
2 pieces of artwork were discussed on the show. They belong to J. Lee, a renowned comedy legend, who welcomed the appraiser into his house in Newport, Rhode Island. The appraiser noticed 2 artworks that were painted by artists from Newport. The first one was a pencil drawing by William Trott Richards, a late 19th century American artist known for his works in Rhode Island. The second piece was a painting by Bill Middendorf, a distinguished diplomat who served as Secretary of the Navy and an ambassador. Middendorf was a weekend painter and not a professional artist. The appraiser estimated the paintings to be around $1,300 to $1,700 at auction.
Very nice. That's very nice. Is he local to Newport?
Local, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something right here at home.
The guest brought this distinctive horn for appraisal. She revealed that it belonged to her paternal grandfather. Further, she said that it was given to Prince Albert by a magician named Professor Anderson, who performed at Albert's birthday celebration in 1849. The appraiser verified that indeed it was the original Scottish Highland cattle horn, skillfully heated and pressed flat. The inscription on the horn indicated the significant date of September 20th, 1849. The horn, with its exquisite decorations along the edge, showcased skilled craftsmanship worthy of being presented to a prince. It also had a natural clear quartz attached to its base. Additionally, a single quartz jewel was delicately fitted into its side. The appraiser estimated $3,000 to $5,000 for this beautiful piece.
Wow. Very good.
The guest came with an autographed Arthur Bishop Jeffreys Vikings of the Air painting. He got this painting from his father. His father was an aviation buff, and he got his painting as collateral from a Lady Novelle. The signatures of famous pilots were on it when he got it. The painting was done by Arthur Bishop Jeffreys. We have this incredible scene called Vikings of the Air, an aviation scene. But what makes this oil on canvas so incredibly special, besides its theme, is the signatures. 10 or 12 signatures here. It's just incredible. This is an extraordinarily special painting, not just because of the subject matter, but because of the signatures as well. The painting appraised for $10,000 to $15,000. The guest inherited this lithograph from her mother, who won it in a raffle with just 1 ticket. Dismissing the artwork as the split grape juice, their mother didn't fully appreciate its value. The lithograph is by Lee Krasner, a significant figure in the abstract expressionist movement and the wife of Jackson Pollock. Krasner created this lithograph as part of a series of 3. Each lithograph was made in an edition of 100, Despite the lesser recognition of female abstract expressionist artists, Krasner's work is highly regarded. The lithograph is conservatively estimated to be worth between $3,000 to $5,000 at auction. The appraiser expects the value to continue rising in the next 5 to 10 years. The guest brought this item for appraisal, which he initially described as a brass bowl of Chinese origin. However, the appraiser identified it as a Chinese bronze vessel, specifically a censer used for ritual purposes, rather than a bowl. The censer bore a mark from the 15th century Ming Dynasty.
Da Ming actually means Great Ming. Xuande is the emperor's name. And then this is Nianzhi, which just means period made.
However, it was actually produced towards the end of the 17th century. The item showed signs of wear, including a polished surface and patches of green verdigris, indicative of bronze disease. Despite these condition issues, the censer held significant value in the market, especially among collectors interested in Chinese antiquities. The appraiser estimated its auction value to be between $5,000 to $8,000.
Out of the question. Yeah, that's crazy.
The host presented Field Trip, Architecture Remnants. This is the arch that served as the entrance to the old Chicago Stock Exchange by Louis Sullivan. Some buildings are still standing, but many buildings no longer exist, like the Chicago Stock Exchange. Standing in front of this incredible elevator bank from the first floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange is Louis Sullivan. He's the father of the modern skyscraper. It's a symphony of motifs from the period, and it's a classic Sullivan. When the building was demolished, sadly, in 1972, some survived. Frank Lloyd Wright, one of his most famous students, undoubtedly is one of America's greatest architects. This work was built for the Avery Coonley Playhouse in Riverside, Illinois. He called it the Kinder Symphony. Kinder Symphony was appraised in the $400,000 range or more.
Well, it's just beautiful, as are all of the architectural relics you see here in the museum, but you certainly picked two wonderful ones to showcase. Thanks so much, Lee.
The guest brought in 2 illustrations by her great-uncle John Vasos, a versatile artist who also worked in industrial design. Vasos was known for his Art Deco style, characterized by bold lines and shades of black, white, and gray. This illustration depicts dystopian scenes, reflecting the uncertainty and anxieties of the 1930s, a time marked by war, economic depression, and the rise of fascism in Europe. This illustration was from a book Vasos co-created with his wife called Ultimo, about people forced underground due to climate change, while this one, titled Island of the Dead, offered a thought-provoking commentary on death and societal decay. Vasos may not be a household name, but his industrial design work is widely recognized. He is credited with designing the iconic New York City subway turnstiles. Vasos' gray-tone gouache illustrations are particularly valuable, and at auction, the smaller illustration is valued at
$6,000 to $8,000,
and the larger, unpublished pieces,
$8,000 to $12,000.
Okay.
These majestic shoes have remarkable qualities. Unlike most shoes from the late 19th to early 20th century, which were typically black, these shoes stood out with their vibrant purple silk and cream-colored leather. Additionally, they were in remarkable condition considering their age. Marked New York on the bottom, they held a unique charm. Typically, shoes of similar style in black leather might fetch around $75 to $100, but these are exceptional. Due to their unique color combination, excellent condition, and the use of silk and leather, a pair like these recently sold at auction for an impressive $460.
So that's a lot, actually, for
That's
a pair of
for
shoes. Yes.
The guest received this colorful quilt made from cotton and appliqué fabric as a Christmas gift from her mom 10 years ago. The quilt is by Sarah Mary Taylor, a famous African-American quilter from Louisiana. She was an extraordinary, colorful woman who had 5 husbands and lived on a plantation almost her whole life. Sarah Mary Taylor was known for her colorful and powerful quilts, and she often used fabrics and cuts from magazines and newspapers in her appliques. The work is quite bold, colorful, and big, and the quilt here is made of cotton, which would ordinarily be made with things like bed skirts. The quilt is circa 1980, and is considered very rare. The appraised value of the quilt is
$5,000 to $7,000. No.
The guest came with Selmer Mark VI saxophone and mouthpieces. He bought it during his freshman year at college. He started a band during his senior year in high school and carried that through college. Selmer Mark VI alto saxophone was made in Paris. Vintage horns are more desirable than even the best horns that are made today. The condition is spectacularly good. 3 mouthpieces here. They were called brilliant metal duckbills. This is a tenor mouthpiece, $700 worth of vintage mouthpieces. Selmer Mark VI saxophone and mouthpieces appraised for $6,700. The guest brought in a dock and barometer set they inherited from their grandparents, who worked at a lodge in upstate New York. The unusual pair met an unfortunate end during a home renovation, but was saved just in time. This set is a unique combination, a barometer and a clock. This pairing was uncommon, and the set was most likely designed to be displayed on either side of a window or door. Crafted around 1880 to 1890, the set has exceptional quality, evident in the heavy castings, detailed clock hands, contrasting dials, and a silver-washed brass dial for the barometer, and a beautiful enamel dial for the clock. Both pieces were marked by the Caldwell Company in New York, solidifying their origin and craftsmanship. The piece is extremely rare and of excellent quality, and would fetch an estimated price of
$4,500 for the pair.
Wow.
The guest presented a box from her family heirloom collection. It was acquired by her mother's cousin many years ago, who had taken pottery classes from Margaret Cable at the University of North Dakota.
And then when classes were all done, Margaret was selling some of her extra pieces.
The box was purchased for just $1.50, marked down from $3. The appraiser observed the signature M. Cable on the back of the box, along with a classic mark indicating that it had met their standard.
And then we see this number 162. What was fascinating, in 1938, they started documenting the pieces that were being sold.
North Dakota's quality clay made the pottery popular and highly valuable. The box featured a cowboy riding a horse with an incised top. The estimated value ranged between $800 to $1,200.
Wow, really nice.
Oh my, that's amazing.
In a retail shop.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
The guest brought in a unique glass piece she inherited from her mom.
She always told me that this was a one-of-a-kind piece. I never really believed her until I found the little thing that came along with it.
It is a piece by Costa Boda, a renowned Swedish glass company, designed by the famous artist Ulrika Heidman Vallien in the early 1980s. Ulrika Heidman Vallien was a prominent figure in Swedish art, particularly known for her work with glass in the latter half of the 20th century. This piece exemplified her singular style, highlighting not just the artistry and craftsmanship that made the glass piece special, but its inherent uniqueness. Unlike mass-produced items, this is a one-of-a-kind creation, as evidenced by the inscription here. The whimsical decoration featuring a menagerie of animals, some resembling rats, dogs, and wolves, further distinguish it. Considering the piece's rarity, its association with the esteemed artist Ulrika Heidman Vallien, and its artistic merit, the estimated value is in the range of
Maybe $1,500 to $2,500.
Oh my, that's amazing.
In a retail shop.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
The guest came with a World Trade Center bus stop poster. He got it from a guy in the Bronx at the bus stop. He bought lunch for the guy, and he gave him this. What a powerful symbol the World Trade Center is for people around the world. The artist was Paul Shaw, and it was such a painstaking work that it took him 100 hours to do. These are typograph structures depicting the Twin Towers, and the words here are, "All things are food, sights." This piece has some kind of emotional resonance, appraised between $2,000 and $3,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
This heirloom, a Queen Anne Boston side chair, was brought to the show by a guest who inherited it from her great-great-grandfather. Originally, the chair belonged to Jonathan Edwards, a leading figure of the American Enlightenment. Edwards is widely regarded as one of America's most important and original philosophical theologians. The side chair was manufactured in the year 1750 by a group of chair makers in Boston and was made in the Queen Anne style, featuring a yoked crest rail. The chair seat was constructed in a compass shape, and the vase-shaped elongated splat on the backrest indicates that it's a classic piece of Boston furniture. The chair legs are cabriole, with beautiful pad feet joined by stretchers with arrow-turned ends. The appraiser values the chair at around $5,500. The next item was found in a special way by our guest. He found a unique little Buddha. The guest found it with the help of a metal detector on the beach in Western Australia.
We think it's a baby Buddha, but its origins, its age, we're just not sure.
It was made around the 1420s. This Buddha is possibly the oldest Chinese artifact in Australian history. Ming Dynasty origins make it a rare find. This infant Buddha was used in religious ceremonies to celebrate Buddha's birthday. People pour purified water and tea on it, which is why it's always made of bronze. What could its estimate value be?
If the hammer fell at 10,000, would be surprised? No. If it fell at 50,000, would we be surprised? No. And I think even if it made 100,000, I don't think I'd be that surprised.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The owner wants to pay tribute to his late friend by creating a museum in his honor through the sale of the Buddha. This Jasper Johns flag print holds personal significance for the guests since childhood, especially because of the central circle. Notably, the value of this piece is enhanced by its signature and numbering by Jasper Johns, whose inspiration from flags and targets is evident in this artwork. He conceptualized the flag's motif in a dream, starting in the mid-50s. Commissioned by Leo Castelli, this print serves as a statement against the Vietnam War and commemorates the moratorium marches, evident from the typeset. The orange symbolizes opposition to Agent Orange, while the green references soldiers' fatigues, with the bullet hole motif showcasing John's minimalist style through an optical illusion. The print remains iconic, embodying the spirit of the late 60s. In today's market, its rarity and historical context make it a valuable collector's item.
$10,000 to $15,000.
My parents this morning were saying, "Don't bring it, it's worth nothing, it's damaged."
I'm glad you didn't listen to them.
It's going to totally stay in the car, that's crazy.
An ink drawing was brought by this lady who purchased it for $280 at an exhibition. There was also a catalog which contained the drawing titled Leichter Verfall, or Slight Deterioration, created in 1927 by the renowned Swiss artist Paul Klee. The appraiser highlighted Klee's signature in the upper right-hand corner. The artist had delicate, meditative, and surrealistic work.
An artist who has an association with Expressionism, has an association with Cubism, a little bit of an association with Surrealism.
The guest also brought a book which contained a copy of the drawing, and it was entitled 5 Essays on Klee. Despite some damage, the artist's work is well known today, with many collectors looking to acquire his works. It was recommended to restore it professionally to raise its value. The appraiser valued the drawing at
$25,000 to $40,000.
Wow. That's a pretty good price.
Our guest brought a collection of boxing cards inherited from his grandfather, who was both a boxer and a promoter. He possesses 21 out of the 26 T9 Turkey Red cabinet cards from 1910 to 1911. Coupons were included in the packs of Turkey Reds, allowing collectors to send them in for specific boxers. Notable boxers in the collection include A. Battelle, known as the Little Champ, as well as Sam Langford and Stanley Ketchel. Present among the collections is Jim Jeffries, the world heavyweight champion, alongside Jack Johnson, a legendary figure considered the most significant boxer. The cards remain in excellent condition with vibrant color lithography. The set is highly collectible due to the quality of boxers and visual appeal.
$1,000 to $1,500 range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in this condition. Very cool. Great collection.
The owner brought a diorama believed to be made by their great-grandfather, and their grandmother disliked it, so they kept it in the basement. The diorama features elements of heavy paper and carved wood with intentionally disproportionate proportions. With its uniqueness, it's estimated that its auction value will be around $2,500 to $3,000. This was definitely the best diorama they've seen on the show in their lengthy tenure.
3,000. This is certainly the best one I've seen on Roadshow, and I've been doing this show for a quarter century.
What we have here is the Tiffany Studios inverted hanging shade, brought to the show by our guest, who inherited it from her parents. This fascinating piece measures 33 inches in diameter and was made with a distinctive type of glass, with some Aztec-style design around the edge, particularly attributed to Tiffany. The hardware design includes sockets attached to the arm, a pipe that goes up to the hanging shade, along with hanging chains, and support rods that hold the shade together. The most interesting aspect of this piece is its unique type of glass and the lack of finishes, indicating it was among the early Tiffany designs, dating back to around 1901. Interestingly, the attention to detail and the fact that this piece is unsigned substantiate its originality. The appraiser values it at around $100,000 to $150,000.
Good to know.
This is the ultimate collection of Abraham Lincoln memorabilia, passed down through the family, originated from a devoted Illinois collector. Despite some items being donated to the Library of Congress, 2 significant letters from Lincoln to General Halleck remained within the family's possession. These letters, penned during the Civil War, showcased Lincoln's diplomatic approach to officer promotions while respecting military hierarchy. Alongside the letters, a carte de visite featuring a Lincoln photograph, authenticated by his secretary John Hay, added further historical value. The collection's rarity and impeccable condition contributed to its estimated worth of $75,000 to $100,000.
That's amazing.
This banjo clock has been inherited by the guest from his mother. The clock was made around 1825 by Joseph Nye Dunning, along with Lemuel Curtis in Burlington, Vermont.
And as a clock collector, you probably know that name and probably know both names.
Yeah.
The clock is named the banjo clock due to its resemblance to a banjo. Joseph Nye Dunning and Lemuel Curtis opened a jewelry store where they sold various items, including timepieces. Although it lacks a visible signature, its stylistic icon speaks for itself, and it's in wonderful decorative condition. This clock was made to sit on a mantel above the fireplace. Can you guess the value of this banjo clock?
It's probably in the $20,000 to $30,000 range.
Oh, wow. That is, wow, that is amazing. Yeah.
The guest inherited this large green ceramic dish from her great-grandfather, who was the French provincial governor of Cambodia and Laos. The dish had been in the family for generations, and there are 2 stories about its origin. One story is that it was unearthed and given to the governor by a government official.
And it had originally been used as a dish for food for an emperor, and then it would actually change color if the food had been poisoned. It would.
While the other story is that the dish is from China and dates to the early Ming Dynasty, which is in the 14th century. It was made at the Jeju kiln site, which is now known as Hangzhou, and is a celadon, a type of green ceramic ware that was popular during the Ming Dynasty. Celadons were often used in the imperial household. The large size, which is almost 18 inches in diameter, and good condition of the dish make it valuable. At auction, the estimated value of this is
$15,000 and $25,000
Wow.
at auction.
Wow. That is very surprising.
The guest came with a Thomas Webb & Sons Burmese glass vase. She got it from her mother. Thomas Webb & Sons was an English company founded in 1837 by Thomas Webb. This vase is special because it's made of decorated Burmese glass. This type of glass first started in the United States. But what makes this so exceptional is the decoration on it. It has beautiful chrysanthemums. It also has this beautiful butterfly, decorated collar, gold outlining it, and even around the foot. The original retailer sticker, the store was Phillips, and it says Oxford Street, which was in London. The vase was appraised for $4,000 to $5,000.
Thank you. Welcome.
This guest brought this impressive family heirloom, an Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec poster, to the show. This is a very rare piece that you'd be lucky to see in the poster market.
Not a cat lover. So the family lore goes, my grandmother did not want it displayed.
Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec was a French painter, illustrator, and printmaker who was known for his provocative usage of posters to describe the decadence in France around 1891, and also for musical performers. This particular poster is a four-color design that depicts a woman in red holding a small black cat. Interestingly, the name May Belfort, written beneath the poster, indicates that the piece was a musical poster made for May Belfort, who was a well-known Irish singer and performer. The poster creates an imagination of May Belfort on stage and a simple representation of the stage background. This is a signed work of a famous poster artist, but not in great condition. The poster is valued at around $4,000 to $6,000.
Okay. Well, that's very nice. No, that's perfect. We're going to keep it.
The guest inherited this creamer and sugar set from her father. The set features a unique design with leaves and copper insects, reflecting the popular Orientalist movement of the late 19th century. The movement drew inspiration from the opening of Japan and China to Western trade. The maker of these items is George Schiebler, a renowned producer of novelty items known for their unique and quirky designs. The set is further distinguished by its gold-lined sugar bowl, a detail rarely seen in ordinary creamers and sugar sets of that era.
Around this time, you'll see insects or birds or reptiles applied in different metals besides copper, silver, gold. This sugar bowl is lined with gold.
While the typical late 19th century American creamer and sugar set might fetch only $50 to $75, the Schiebler mark and the Orientalist style elevate the value of this particular set, and at auction, it would fetch
$800 to $1,200 for the two pieces at auction. Wow.
This nice groovy-lobed vase was brought to the show by this guest. This is a logic-defying vase with a shape that breaks any flowers inserted into the vase in 3 compartments. The vase was made by William H. Gruby, who was an American-born potter and businessman. This vase includes a Gruby Faience Company production stamp, which was the company signature used around 1905. The incredible Gruby shapes, glazes, and decorations are timeless productions that are special to behold. This particular vase earned Gruby plaudits all over America, and it later turned out to be the template that defines American art and craft. This vase is worth around $1,500 to $2,000.
That's good news. I hadn't any idea of that. Very nice.
You're kidding me.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
The guest shared an interesting story about acquiring baseballs belonging to his father. The item had been kept in a box in his father's closet for a long time. The appraiser identified that the collection ranged from the 1940s to the 1960s. After examining, they found some special ones, including a 1957 Cleveland Indians ball, signed by Roger Maris in his rookie year. There was also a 1955 Boston Red Sox ball with Ted Williams' signature. Furthermore, the collection included a 1952 New York Yankees ball, featuring an early Mickey Mantle signature. The appraiser called the 1961 New York Yankees ball the most valuable, depicting the signature of Bob Hale.
Bob Hale played 11 games for the 61 Yankees, and that's it. He didn't play for any other team that year, and 1961 was the year. So
the value estimated for the significant collection was
$12,000 to $15,000.
You're kidding me.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
This stunning necklace features a beautiful amethyst pendant set in gold, dating back to 1780s England. The owner discovered this necklace and a ring in a trunk in their basement while cleaning out their late mother-in-law's belongings. Crafted in England around 1780, this necklace bears the mark of skilled craftsmanship from the Georgian era. What sets this necklace apart is its rare amethyst gemstone, a favorite among imperial families for its deep purple hue. The necklace's design and length make it not only a valuable piece, but also very wearable and stylish. Its estimated value today is around $25,000 due to its historical significance, the quality of its materials, and the craftsmanship of its design.
That would be a current retail value for it today.
Oh my gosh, wow.
This Steiff teddy bear was brought to the show by a guest who inherited it from her father's oldest sister. This bear was made by Margaret Steiff, a German seamstress who in 1880 founded Margriet Steiff GmbH, more widely known as Steiff. The guest indicates that her father's oldest sister, who owns the bear, was born in 1908, suggesting that the bear was made around 1903 to 1910. The bear carries a Steiff button, indicating the company name. It also features shoe button eyes, with unusually long arms and large feet. This is one of the most sought-after bears due to its collectible size. The estimated value of this bear should be around $1,500 to $2,000.
That's wonderful.
The guest has a piece of furniture that's got hearts racing. It's a beauty from Bermuda, steeped in family tradition and craftsmanship.
My husband's family for many, many years had been going to Bermuda.
Bermuda furniture is unique because the beautiful cedar used gives away its origin. Unlike the fancy, high-style furniture of other regions, Bermuda pieces were often simpler. These Bermudan pieces were influenced by the more elaborate furniture that folks would order from England, Boston, and New York. The inner side is surprisingly well crafted, despite the plain exterior.
Few condition issues, but I'm going to take out the secret center section here.
The furniture has a surprising number of concealed compartments. Local cabinet makers had to compete with that market, making this chest an interesting look at how they catered to Bermuda's smaller population. Bermuda furniture has a devoted following, and this beauty is estimated at
$20,000 to $25,000 today.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Guest brings a lovely box passed down from his father for appraisal. It is believed to be made by Capo-di-Monte, a famous Italian porcelain factory. The piece has the company's mark, but it's not made by the company.
And has largely been used through its lifetime for deception. When we see the mark, we almost always assume that it was made at the very best at the end of the 19th century.
It's an exquisite piece, expertly done with hand-painted designs and figural patterns. It's believed to be of Italian origin and made by the Ginori factory.
And the Ginori factory kind of kept the flame alive of 18th century Italian porcelain. And they had a line of porcelain that they actually called Capo-di-Monte.
The quality, the painting, the modeling, and the color scheme are all characteristics of that. The ebonized wood stand indicates that the piece was probably exhibited at an international showcase, as the stand is usually absent in ordinary pieces. It's valued at...
We would place an estimate on it between $3,000 and $5,000.
The guest bought these Scottish pistols for $700 in 1977 in Scotland while serving in the Navy.
Well, you brought back a very nice pair of all-metal Scottish pistols.
These pistols are signed by John Campbell from Perthshire, Scotland. There were 3 generations of excellent craftsmen among the Campbell gunsmiths from 1710 to 1790. It's unusual to have a pair in such excellent condition. These pistols feature a ram's horn butt, a belt hook, and intricate Baroque chasing. The fluting and trigger are also magnificent.
These are as fine a pair of pistols as I've seen, and you should be very proud to have them.
Let's see the value of these pistols.
$1,500 to $2,000. I think that they're easily worth $12,000 to $15,000.
I didn't realize that they were that valuable, but I know they're very pretty.
I am serious.
I think I better take the $10 tag off.
I cannot believe it.
A chance encounter at a house sale led to the discovery of these exquisite red vases, initially admired for their beauty rather than their potential value. The guest spotted them on a windowsill, where the sunlight highlighted their elegance. Intrigued, they picked up the vases and noticed the signature Tiffany inscribed on them. Purchased for a mere $10 each, the guest was initially unsure.
I don't know whether they're really Tiffany or not really Tiffany, but I thought they were very pretty red vases that I needed for flowers.
Upon closer inspection and comparison of the signatures, it was confirmed that these were indeed Tiffany vases, a rare find in such a setting. Despite the suspicion that arises when finding high-end pieces at a bargain, these vases turned out to be genuine Tiffany pieces, valued between $10,000 to $15,000 for the pair.
I am serious.
I think I better take the $10 tag off.
I cannot believe it.
This unexpected discovery highlights the guest's keen eye for recognizing beauty and value in unexpected places. Innovation meets class with this piece. The guest bought this lovely table in 1986 for $1,800. It is made of oak and is exquisitely designed. It has certain distinct features that represent various eras.
We can see this element here, which is very Victorian, late 19th century. As we drop down the leg, we see these cross members here and these through tenons.
A design element that is mainly seen in the arts and crafts movement. It is a transitional piece indicating movement from the Victorian to the arts and crafts era.
You can really date this to a very specific time, like 1895 to 1900. And in that time in America, it's very innovative.
This table has some unique components. The tambour top is one, as it allows its expansion fascinatingly.
We just simply pull out this handle.
Yep.
And crank it.
The mechanism of its movement makes it more amazing to behold. This one-of-a-kind furniture is valued at...
Probably, if we were to put it in auction, I would estimate it at $2,000 to $3,000.
The guest brought in a lamp he had traded around 15 to 18 years ago in exchange for a wrought iron coffee table. The appraiser identified it as a distinctive piece crafted by Dirk Van Erp, a renowned maker. It contained the classic windmill mark with the name Dick Van Erp underneath, confirming its authenticity. This particular lamp was considered rare, with only 6 known examples of its form in existence. It was originally designed for oil use around 1910, featuring a distinctive form of hand-hammered copper combined with mica. Despite its rarity, the lamp underwent alterations, being converted to electricity and then to reverting to its original oil use. The appraiser estimated its value to be,
because of the alterations, probably worth around $50,000 to $75,000. So it's a great thing. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you very much.
This plaster bust holds a profound significance for the guest, as it is a portrait of his father created by Walter Hancock, a renowned sculptor and instructor at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. The guest's father modeled for Hancock while studying at the Academy. Walter Hancock's career spanned several decades, and he is particularly noted for his service as one of the Monuments Men during World War II. This bust, created in 1940, showcases Hancock's talent and attention to detail. Due to its historical and sentimental value, the bust should be insured for $2,500.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I had no idea.
The piece serves as a remarkable tribute to both the guest father and the renowned sculptor Walter Hancock. This person has an amazing snow babies collection. The owner's grandmother used to decorate with snow babies around the Christmas tree, but her mother kept them in a box carefully. These were made in Germany in the early 20th century. There are 2 theories about these snow babies. The first theory suggests that these were made by Hertwig and Company, inspired by Victorian Christmas traditions. The other theory is that Admiral Peary, the U.S. explorer, had a daughter whose picture went viral in newspapers.
He's worth about $300. These are very, very special.
The estimated value for these snow babies ranges between $3,350 to $4,250. Let's find out the latest price of the 18th century Chinese Famille Noire vase that the guest bought for $10 at a garage sale.
$10.
$10. Do you know the country of origin?
No, I know absolutely nothing about it. I just saw it and I liked it.
That's the best reason to buy a piece.
The vase is decorated in a Famille Noire style with prunus blossoms, a pheasant, and bamboo groves in a gourd shape. On the bottom vase bears a Ming mark dated 1465, but it was not made in 1465. It was actually made in the 18th century. Collecting Chinese antiques can be problematic, as the year of production is doubtful. By tipping the vase over, we can see the exposed worn foot trim. The underglaze mark is one-dimensional blue with a freely painted style. Items like this are in high demand in the marketplace. Being an 18th century rare vase, its value at auction is
would be $30,000 to $50,000.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So
I am quite surprised. I had
a prudent $10 investment.
Right.
This Levi's poster holds a special place in the guest heart, originating from Levi's manufacturing and displayed in their family's business in Tell City, Indiana for several decades. The poster has vibrant colors and a humorous design featuring a rooster scaring a horse. The Guest family store has been in business since the 1800s, and it still stands today. This poster was just one of many advertising pieces used to promote Levi's products, including a pair of Levi's jeans with a staggering waist size of 76 inches and a length of 45 inches.
And those were used as an advertising
They were
piece
also
as well, correct?
advertising.
These jeans are a rare find, as most stores disposed of them after use. They are valued at approximately $1,200 for collectors. The poster, in excellent condition and from Berkeley, California, holds a value of $2,000.
That's awesome. That's great.
Both items are not only valuable collectibles, but also symbols of a rich family history in the retail business. This is a portrait of Fanny Fletcher, the owner's great-great-grandmother. It was painted when Fanny was 20 years old in 1817, making the painting over 200 years old. The portrait is a significant example of American folk portraiture. It's likely that the artist was Thomas Ware from Vermont, who painted portraits primarily in the early 19th century. Despite a possible later frame, the portrait is in excellent condition. The estimated value of this painting in an auction is between $8,000 to $12,000. These miniature melon baskets were found by the owner in their mother's attic while preparing for an estate sale.
Why didn't you put them in the estate sale?
Because I liked them.
Okay.
The baskets were made of oak, with dyed oak used for decoration. The bright yellow color is likely derived from natural dyes, such as sumac or onion peels, while the brown may come from walnut shells. Dating such baskets is challenging, and they could have been made as late as the Depression era. When asked about their value, the owner was totally surprised.
Yeah, I think if I found them in an antique shop, I would expect to pay maybe $200, $300 a piece for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The owner's great-grandfather had a two-piece construction sword belt that the owner believes belonged to one of his brothers who fought in the war. It's identified as a Richmond-style sword belt made in Richmond. The belt features two pieces of sand-cast brass and is known for its distinctive pattern. The estimated retail value is astounding.
And this one would retail for about $3,500. Wow.
In 1937, Ellen Pyle, a well-known illustrator, created a colorful illustration for a Saturday Evening Post magazine cover. The illustration depicts a scene with children and a rainbow. This particular illustration was gifted to the Guest uncle by the editor of the Saturday Evening Post magazine. The uncle then gave it to the Guest parents to hang over their fireplace. Ellen Pyle was a significant figure in the history of illustration, and her work is very collectible. She did about 40 Post covers, but only one or two have come up in the auction market. Noting also that the Saturday Evening Post is one of the most sought-after magazines for illustration art. Given the rarity of the piece and its excellent condition, the estimated value of this illustration is
$25,000 to $35,000 at auction. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Among piles of unwanted items, one person's trash becomes another's treasure. It's an etrog box that the owner's father found in the garbage on the streets of New York's East Coast. The box must be made by a Jewish person. It was made in the 1920s, and the writing on it is in Hebrew style. The etrog box is a unique treasure, expertly crafted from various pieces by a skilled artisan. Each pattern of silver is different from the others. Lamb's wool is inside to keep fruits fresh, and it closes and opens nicely. How much will the box be worth, being from the garbage?
And I would think this could bring upwards of $2,000, $3,000, so a fair amount of money.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a nice piece, and I'm glad you brought it here.
And my mother was yelling, "Don't take it out of the garbage."
Well, good thing he did. Good thing he did.
The Guest inherited the map from her father. This was one of the earliest Trans-Mississippi West maps.
It's the earliest printed map to show both North and South America divided by an isthmus.
The map was crafted using movable wooden blocks in 1540 by a geographer named Sebastian Münster. Sebastian Münster is renowned for his creation of meticulously accurate world maps. This particular map showcased various geographical features, including the false sea of Verrazano, and flags representing Spain and Portugal.
This goes back to the Treaty of Tordesillas, when the Pope said, I'm going to split the New World between Spain and Portugal so that you two won't fight over it. Well,
the map also featured illustrations such as a native hut in Brazil and Magellan's ship in the Pacific. With German text and considered a collector's gem, its retail price was estimated at $4,500 by the appraiser. The guest was delightfully excited to hear the value.
I'm so excited. I'm just so thrilled.
While the stoneware itself might not be a guaranteed collector's item, certain qualities significantly elevate its worth. This specific type of stoneware the guest brought in wasn't usually a hot commodity among collectors. However, the piece itself is exceptional. The presence of such an elaborate and beautiful decoration, particularly the stunning cobalt blue free-form design, completely transformed the value of the stoneware. At auction, this piece would sell for $3,500. The guest bought a 1963 Beatles autograph, which she had the Beatles sign during their stay in the Palace Court Hotel. The Beatles were an English rock band formed in Liverpool in 1960, comprising of John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. They are regarded as one of the most influential bands of all time and were integral in the development of 1960s counterculture and the recognition of popular music as an art form. The autograph is written on a white fabric sheet, and what is interesting about this autograph is the story behind it, because it's very rare to see an original signature of the Beatles. The autograph has signatures of 3 out of the 4 members: John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. The appraiser values the piece to be around $3,000 to $5,000. This antique is a scientific instrument containing a lunar and solar calendar dial, sundial, and a compass, all in the same box. The owner acquired it through exchanging it for something else because he found it interesting. This compendium stands out for its multifunctionality, housing a lunar and solar calendar dial, a universal equinoctial sundial, and a compass, all in one box. However, some modifications, like signs of previous engravings on the dial, might affect its value among collectors. The intriguing compendium, possibly crafted by Schisler, is valued at a couple of £1,000 due to its unique alterations. Yet, if left unaltered, its worth could soar above £50,000.
I'm afraid we're looking here at perhaps a couple of £1,000 at best.
It's quite high anyway, I think.
The guest family heirloom was a quilt inherited from his parents. The quilt consisted of squares with names on them, and the guest recognized several, like one from his grandmother's family, the Brooks. The appraiser noted the name on one of the squares that said Medford, New Jersey, which indicated the year 1863 when the quilt was completed. There were also squares with various abstract and whimsical designs. The appraiser praised the quilt for its creative and cohesive designs. Some of the squares also depicted trapunto work. The appraiser highlighted the fabric used, including turkey red and aniline-dyed greens. Despite the signs of staining, the appraiser estimated the worth to be
$6,000 and $8,000.
Oh, wonderful.
At auction.
Very nice.
The guest presented an interesting collection she had inherited from her great-aunt. It included a diamond brooch, a pendant, and grape shears. The guest also bought the will of her great-aunt. The diamond brooch was from the 1865 to 1870 era. It had a nice gold pin in the back with rose diamonds on top. The other item was a pendant made out of French paste. The last item was a grape shear, silver-plated, and highly collectible. The appraiser noticed discrepancies between the items and the will.
what we have here is a will that has not been fulfilled properly. Therefore, your mother, at the time when she received it, she should have complained.
Unfortunately, the guest mother did not receive her complete inheritance. The overall worth of the items was around $1,150. The guest brought a book that had belonged to his grandfather. Inside the book, there was a drawing signed by James Abbott McNeill Whistler, a renowned American artist. The appraiser identified it as a very early work of Whistler. The guest mentioned Whistler's connection to West Point. Despite initially studying at West Point, Whistler ultimately pursued art, leading to his renowned career. Whistler's drawing in the book titled The Elopement depicted young lovers starting a new life. Despite the book's precarious state, the value estimated by the appraiser was
$10,000 to $15,000.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, that has always been my favorite. I love that one.
The guest brought to the show 2 James Hope paintings, which she had gotten from her husband's family house. Captain James Hope was a professional artist and a member of the 2nd Vermont Infantry. The first landscape painting is Yosemite Bridalveil Falls. The other painting is Rainbow Falls in Watkins Glen, located in New York State. Comparing the 2 paintings' atmospheric qualities, there are different features. In the first painting, the rock formations are not depicted as observed in reality, possibly inspired by another painting's view. However, the second painting accurately depicts Rainbow Falls. The appraiser values the Yosemite Bridal Veil Falls painting to be around $10,000 to $15,000, while the Rainbow Falls painting is valued at $20,000 to $30,000.
Well, that has always been my favorite. I love that one.
The guest brought a 1908 Thomas Virgil Hill landscape, which he had purchased himself, to the show. Thomas Virgil Hill, Jr. was an American artist of the 19th century. He produced many fine paintings of the California landscape, particularly of the Yosemite Valley. The landscape painting depicts Yosemite's Bridal Veil Fall and the valley below it. Bridal Veil Fall is one of the most prominent waterfalls in Yosemite Valley, California, and it was a very popular spot for artists and painters. The painting bears the signature of T. Virgil Hill, indicating that it is indeed a genuine work by Thomas Virgil Hill. The appraiser values the piece to be around $5,000 to $7,000.
All right, thank you.
Our guests, who are members of the United Daughters of the Confederacy, possess a small collection that includes this wonderful 3-way print.
I'm a northern boy myself, and I see lots of wonderful prints, but when this item came up, I nearly gave a rebel yell for you.
Appearing as a solitary print, this piece actually conceals 3 prints masterfully intertwined in an optical marvel. Slowly rotating the print unveils the image of Stonewall Jackson, a revered leader. Reversing the rotation exposes Jefferson Davis, the Confederate president. As the rotation persists, the image of the great general Robert E. Lee emerges. Owning it is a remarkable treasure.
And you're probably talking a value at auction of between about $2,800 and $3,200.
The updated value of the piece is $4,500 to $5,500.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I had no idea at all.
This grand necklace isn't just a piece of jewelry. It's a journey through time. Passed down through generations in the guest family, its origins remain a mystery. Perhaps Danish, perhaps somewhere else in Europe. While the guest may have not known its exact origins,
It has belonged to my grandmother, but I don't know where she got it from.
Fraser has unveiled a fascinating story behind this family heirloom. This piece is a stunning example of Renaissance revival jewelry. Because it was crafted in the mid to late 19th century, it likely originated in Austria or Austro-Hungary, a region known for this style. This necklace combines the historic cameo with natural pearls, rubies, and a colorful enamel, resulting in a truly one-of-the-kind treasure. With its rich history and artistic blend of eras, this necklace is estimated to be
$10,000 to $15,000.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I had no idea at all.
This is not your ordinary clock. This is a piece of history. Back in the 1960s, near Cambridge, someone wanted a clock for their cottage with a low ceiling. They found one at a farm sale, hidden behind an old mattress in a dusty barn. They snagged it for just $15. Though it looked old-fashioned on the outside, its insides were actually newer. They found a mark inside that said Clerkenwell, a place in London famous for making clocks. Even though it wasn't super old, the clock looked nice and could be worth $1,500 now.
In a shop.
Right, wonderful.
This presents an early 18th century violin, initially believed to be from a suburb of France in northern Italy. However, upon appraisal 7 years ago, it was identified as an early 18th century violin. Contrary to the initial belief, the violin is actually an early 19th century Dutch violin from the Coupier school. The Coupier school was known for its craftsmanship, and this violin reflects that with its intricate design and quality construction. The appraiser values the violin at a conservative retail price of $2,500. This appraisal sheds new light on the violin's history and origin.